Morning to you. Why are you laughing?
Good morning to you too. Let us meet officially.
Yeah, officially.
I was laughing because you sounded very. There's something about how you sounded, the way you were just running everything out. It was like it was at the tip of your tongue. Like you could be sleeping and doing it. And
Right. Yeah.
I commend you. I commend you.
Thank you so much. How are you doing?
I'm well. I'm doing okay.
All right. So, in case you do not know, we have Bionic in the studio this morning. Now, this is someone who has been doing music for so long, and of course, is going to be sharing so much about his journey with us on the show. But first, let me tell you about my guest this morning. Yeah, his name is Ikenna Mba. That's his government's name.
Present.
He's a hip hop artist, a songwriter, a record producer, and also a radio and TV presenter. Now, Ikenna Mba, popularly known as Bionic, was born on November 17 in Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. He's a creative expert in the music industry, as well as an experienced broadcast media professional with almost 10 years as a radio and TV host. Now, Ikenna Mba hails from Enugu State, Nigeria, completed his primary and secondary education in Lagos and Kaduna State, and tertiary education in Enugu and Lagos State. He has a certificate of media management course from West Africa Broadcast Media Academy, WABMA, and an initial media training from Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, Enugu, FRCN, from 2002 to 2006. Now, Bionic career in music began during his secondary school days at Amin Command Secondary School, Kaduna, where he would perform at a school event and represent the school at other schools. Now, after his army parents moved to Enugu, he began to record music in the 90s. Got airplay on FM stations like Cosmo FM, Enugu, Coal City FM, and Sunrise FM, while his radio presenter career kicked off in the early 2000s at Coal City 92.8 FM. Signed to a record label in the same period, he officially put out his first record in 2009 and featured Waje, audio overdose and production from J. Martin, Fino, and Jeremiah Gang. He recently released Lyricist Lounge Nigeria Volume 1 album on October 25th, which features 15 artists and 4 producers, including 2 legendary Nigerian rapper and producer, Abod 9 and Ferocious, and plans to release the Volume 2 after the New Year in 2026, while he's currently working on the Volume 3. Welcome once again.
Thank you. Thank you.
This profile, I mean, it's really packed. No, I can see that. I mean, being able to, be a producer, be a music artist, a TV and a radio host, that's like so much. But now let's get right into the conversation. Let's start from the beginning. Let's head back.
Yes.
To how it all started. Now, something actually struck me, when I was reading your profile.
Okay.
You have army parents.
Yes. Yes. It's a major part of my life that, and my siblings. It's something that actually, created, just charted the course of our lives.
Now, let's talk about you, deciding to venture into music while having parents as soldiers. I know that soldiers can be very strict.
Yes, they are.
People just hear, my father is a soldier, my mom is a soldier. It's like, please, they're avoiding you. They don't want trouble because they don't want your parents trouble.
Correct.
So how was it, having parents who are soldiers deciding to do music?
So, how do I put this? Being a barrack boy, I like to say, when I'm just talking with my friends, I like to say I'm a 2-time barrack boy, It's one thing to have a father that's in the army or a mother that's in the army, but both of them being in the army, so it's something that, and I've noticed that there's no timid soldier. There's no timid soldier. Don't let no one fool you. Like, it's like, knowing karate, being a black belt. You're taught to contain it, to be disciplined, to apply yourself. And that's why many times the army children imbibe a lot of that. Without, even those that didn't go to army school, NMS, Zaria, or served in the short service or whatever in the army, but it's imbibed in them to self-control, unless when, everything hits the fan. Yes. So growing up with, army parents, it was strict. And for the music, one of the things we do, we pride ourselves in the barracks, in officers' quarters, and from moving around a lot, because 2-3 years you move, 3-4 years you move, So, the outdoors was always our thing. you know,
Okay.
spending time, you know, started the mommy market.
Yeah.
You know, we're always on the outdoors. All the children are playing together, and we could go distances and still feel safe, you know.
Yeah.
So the parents never really had an issue with it, because it felt like something that they already knew. So every week there was something in the, so there's officers' mess where the officers go to chill. So
Yeah.
every week there's something called Tombola nights. So it's kind of like, how they have, what's this thing if you win, they call the numbers. If you win, people raise their hands. I think, what's it called? Is it not dominoes? Something like that. So at the Tombola nights, you come in, you get a ticket so when the winning ticket is called, you know, you raise your card, there's a word you say. So it's always been, sort of like entertainment for us.
All right. Now, for music, over time we've had people come on the show, artists on the show. And then when you ask them how it started for them, they'll probably tell you that they had musicians in their family or they grew up listening to certain musicians.
Yes.
And then they, you know, piqued interest in music from there. For you, how did you start music?
So first of all, I'd say this for free. There was no music influence in my family.
Really?
So apart from my late dad, and I had a collection of records, but I grew up with my mom.
Okay.
So I never really experienced that part of him. I never even knew for a really long time. Okay. But I heard, he had a collection, like, you know, when you have a room full of records, that he was that guy, you know, a room like a vineyard as well, room full of winery and all that stuff. But for me, it was just finding a way of expression, you know, because having moved around a lot, there was some type of instability, if I might say, you know, because we didn't spend too much time in any city, you know. So it was like an outlet for me. So I began to do the outdoors a lot. I would write poem, you know, I didn't have a lot of friends, you know, so my outlets was writing poetry or expressing myself, you know, and my mom would always write, you know, so we would just scribble as babies. I would, you know, just scribble like whatever she's doing, I'm doing, you know. So, that's how it came. From there, you know, I would be on TV, you know, weekends, you would watch, you know, the music shows at the early, 90s, you know, even the 80s, late 80s, my secondary school, JS1, 88, 89. There was a really hit music show in the US, you know, and, we would actually scale the fence out of school. I was in boarding house to go watch this show. So my friend, they had a guest house close to the school. So we'll go watch Max Steven Aya, God bless him. We'll escape, go watch it after watching a 1 hour show and go back to school. You know, it was that impactful because we were amazed at what artists were doing because we could write, you know, we would just write and we were amazed at what we wrote. But seeing people perform it and, you know, put lyrics, put sound to the lyrics, it was intriguing. We were like, okay, it's something we could do. That we felt like we were already doing it because before even writing our poetry, we were miming our favorite songs. Without learning it, you know, because it sounded so good and you loved it so much, you found that you could mime it. You knew all the words without learning them. You know, so that's how I got into, music, hip hop, and fast forward to right now.
You know, I feel like since you weren't doing this alone, you know, you're doing it with your friends, you, or would leave school to go watch some musical concerts. I just feel like maybe you guys would have started your own band kind of thing. Like, just get to be, like, I just imagine, like.
But you know why that would not have worked? Because I don't think we had the patience to learn instruments. We were too rascally at the time. Because you needed patience, you know, you would learn if it's the flute or if it's the string. You had to have discipline and all that stuff. We didn't have that. We just were on move. We were on the go. We just wanted to experience rap, you know, at the time.
All right. Now, let me ask you, what's the biggest difference between the hip hop scene we met in the 90s and today's, should I say, Gen Z dominated culture?
You know, you said earlier now, I said I would ask you, Gen Z show, what's with the Gen Z thing? I've noticed that there's a lot of Gen Z in our conversations across the board, not just you talking about it, but out there when you go out. And it's a bit puzzling for me. I guess we'll get to that, later on. But the difference, there are a lot of differences. So one is, the audience. you know. 2 is social media.
Yeah.
3 is, the consciousness in the music. So all these things, affected the culture, the hip hop culture in its own little ways. And you know how they say little
Yeah.
drops, you know. And, I think the music back then, you know, was more content driven, more because actually hip hop's birth
Yeah.
was about telling the stories that people were not ordinarily telling. Telling the stories from your point of view, telling the story from your neighborhood. For instance, if I'm from Sulere and my street is, Adetola, you know, something happened, maybe the next door neighbor did something,
Yeah.
and I'm reporting it in my music. There's no way Galaxy would have known that because Galaxy is in Galaxy is somewhere, you know, unless they had a reporter there.
Yeah,
So
yes.
hip hop, that's how hip hop was birthed. We were telling our stories because the powers that be weren't telling it, you know, and when it gets to them, it was watered down. It was, you know, painted to sound nice. You know, so that was the birth of hip hop, you know, telling those stories, everyone telling the stories from their hood. And when you listen, you feel like you experience that person's neighborhood, you know, yeah. So that's basically the difference from then and now, a lot.
All right. Now, growing up, I used to listen to a lot of hip hop songs. And
Really?
yeah.
Felicity, are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I come from a family where everyone loves music. My dad loves music a lot. My siblings love music. So
Okay.
I grew up listening to a lot of reggae, hip hop, R&B, and all kinds of, like, if you ask me, I actually do have a favorite genre of music because I love rap a lot. But then, yes, I like that look.
I'm
a lot of
surprised.
people look at me that
I'm
way,
surprised.
like, oh, you look so soft for that. But yeah, I love rap a lot. But then I listen to all genre of music. Now, growing up, I used to listen to a lot of hip hop mostly because I didn't really like R&B because of how slow it was. But then now we have Afrobeats, you know, taking over both Nigeria, Africa, everywhere. I want to ask you this question: do you think hip hop is dying in Nigeria?
Okay, so first of all, I would address what you said earlier about people will look surprised because of how you look calm.
Yeah.
So hip hop is there's something I say, right? It's the most intelligent music genre. You know. So it's not, you can't tell who likes hip hop culture or, you know, about how they look. Many times the person is a nerd. The person is a techie, you know, coding in the back of nowhere. Many times the person is a exec in his office, you know, boardroom and stuff. So it's a mind thing. That's why many times one of the things I say, I have a radio show that I run as well. I say all the time, because there's some staples I have that I say on my show. Yeah. So I say that people should pay attention to what they listen to, because when you create or when you speak, you don't know, unconsciously that's where you draw from.
True.
Do you understand? That's why many times what we do is to what's the word I'm looking for? Unify? Maybe the culture, because there are a lot of things that have happened. But now to answer your question, so it's not in the looks. It's a mind thing, it's an intelligence thing, because the words matter. For other genres, it's the beat. For us, it's the words first. What is the person saying? Then the person accompanies it with the beat, so you can spend more time digesting what is being said. You know, so it's intelligence. So you were saying about
if hip-hop is in Nigeria.
So that's a cliche question. It's everywhere. People are like, oh my God, hip-hop is dead, hip-hop. No, but hip-hop never died.
And so what do you think is happening right now? Because now Afrobeat has taken over. If I may say that, everyone is listening to Afrobeat. If you ask me, I do Afrobeat. So what do you think?
Okay, so Afrobeat is young, you know, it's a new child of the father hip-hop, you know. It's almost like a truant's child, you know. Last born syndrome, you know, many times they're spoiled, you know, last born, you know.
And they get so much attention.
They get all the attention and they misuse the attention, you know. So for hip hop, because hip hop is based on truth, is entrenched, is birthed from truth, from consciousness, people don't like truth. People don't like, you know, even about themselves. think about it. Siblings go at each other's necks when one person tells the other person, this is your fault. You need to check it. And it's only your sibling that can do that. Friends that do that become estranged. So hip hop has been about truth, and a lot of people don't like truth. A lot of people don't like to mirror themselves. So they rather lean to fun. Let's forget about our worries, forgetting that after the hangover, after the vibe, and after the fun, reality sets right back in. So that's why it seems like pop and the rest are doing better but you see, hip hop has always been a staple. It's even built for the underground per se, it would always be there. It never died. It's just that it's been relegated. Attention is not being paid. The people that love it are listening to it in their small cocoons, they are not, stepping out to share it. That's another thing. So hip hop is a bit, should I say, is a selfish type thing. Like this is my thing. This is my hip hop. So people listen to it in small, sections and also, there's a part of branding. There's a part of partnership, of, sponsorship. Because of what it is based on, the truth and all that, many would not get behind it to push it. So there's the lie that is being concocted that hip hop will not sell, that hip hop doesn't sell, forgetting that the most horrible music has been made to sell in Nigeria, in the US, in Europe, everywhere. From just playing it over and over again.
Yes.
And the thing we call payola, where, this brown envelope under the table. So whack music can blow, and you're making people believe that hip hop is not going to blow or hip hop is not sellable. That's a lie. Come on now.
All right. That's very interesting. Now let's talk about Lyricist Lounge.
Aha.
What is it about?
So, that's my baby right there. So Lyricist Lounge, one of the bucket lists I like to say I've always had when I created Rap Radio Africa. Apart from it being, started as a radio show in 2002.
Yeah. And
came up to 2006, and I moved to Lagos, 2008, thereabouts. Then, Rap Radio became an entity, Then, one of the things that I said all that to say, one of the things that birthed Lyricist Lounge Nigeria is one of the things that birthed the radio show from the beginning. So I would see people I knew, my friends and my friends' friends that were rapping and doing hip hop and making music, but they weren't getting airplay. People didn't, I wanted people to hear the music. When you hear something that you're like, are you hearing what I'm hearing? That kind of, so I always had that. So I created the show, and it started in, Enugu, Coast City FM. So fast forward to, Lagos, I spoke with, so there's Lyricist Lounge in the US, Brooklyn, founded in 1991 by Anthony Marshall and Danny Castro. So they had a showcase events that they did periodically that gave people like, once Diddy was Puffy, so Notorious B.I.G. and Puffy used to come, thank you, Puff Daddy, used to come through and perform there. Eminem was discovered at the Lyricist Lounge.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Eminem was discovered there. Common passed through there. Talib Kweli, Pharaoh Monch. There's this really popular song. Oh, no. So Nate Dogg. That's a Lyricist Lounge song.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
So they had this two legendary albums in 98 and 99. And of course, I've been a fan. I'm always a fan. I still am a fan, of hip hop, of rap music. So I've always been intrigued about that. And one of the things I wanted to do from as far back as Enugu, So I reached out to Ant, he was like, oh, bro, how you doing? What's up? Okay, I see what you're doing. I talked to him about what I wanted to do. So, he's like, okay, he checked us out on social media. I was like, okay, nice, not bad, show, online radio, podcast, events, music. I was like, okay, yeah, we could do this. So we had the MOU signed in, 2019 rather.
Okay.
So the MOU made us officially Lyricist Lounge, the official Nigeria chapter.
Wow.
So people have used Lyricist Lounge from back in the day to now. It was just something that they would borrow, for want of a better word, they would borrow and run on that. So, but we are officially Lyricist Lounge, official Nigeria chapter. Okay. And one of the things I wanted to do with Lyricist Lounge was, showcase the independent art rappers, the unsigned rappers, and the underground rappers, because they are so I hear them every day. My God, they're so talented. You know, the music is amazing, you know, but you don't hear them on radio. Thank God for, streaming platforms now, although they're ripping the artists off. But thank God for streaming platform, people can go and listen to them that you would normally hear on radio. You know, so that became a bother for me. So with Lyricist Lounge Nigeria, I started a showcase like they did back then, the original Lyricist Lounge. So every first Thursday of the month, we would meet at different locations in the city. You know, started in Sulere and Yaba, you know, we've done VI, you know, like that. So every month we move it around. So I just gather those folks, you know, the unsigned, the independent artists that I know, and the ones that know, the ones that know, the ones that, you know. So each time we gather about 5, 6, 7 of them, we'll have a headliner on the flyer and we just meet, perform. We have open mic segment. We have hip hop karaoke. You could, karaoke your old rap songs, you know, Gangsta's Paradise, Craig Mack, B.I.G., Notorious B.I.G., stuff like that. Then we'll have, open mic. We'll have a freestyle session at the end. And open mic is anybody on the floor. So after everybody had performed, if you have something you've written, if you're a poet or whatever, you could read from your phone or something. So we wanted it to be all inclusive and also people to be, exposed to these talented artists that you wouldn't normally hear on radio. Although we play them on our online radio. So that's what gave birth to that. Then I thought for the bucket list, what else? How further can we take it? Then the album, the Lyricist Lounge Nigeria Volume 1, you know, and, that's how that came. 10 songs of our favorite artists. So almost all the artists there have passed through Lyricist Lounge. I've hosted them on Lyricist Lounge. So I'm like, guys, let's put together an album, you know. It will reach further out, you know, and we just get together, put, this new ourselves on this album and just let people know that it's not just 1, 2, 3 people rapping in Nigeria, you know, and, that's how that was birthed and it's getting traction. People love it. I was on a live, 2 days ago with, Lyricist Lounge, the US, and even he himself is like, we'll have the video on YouTube. He says, people hear it and they are like, there's no way this project came out of Nigeria from the stereotype that we have. You know, some of them still think we live on trees. You know, right? So it's like, there's no way, because one of the things I wanted to do on the project was have people just come as you are, right? Just rhyme. So it could be in your mother tongue. What's your specialty? But many of them are English spitting son of, you know, so they hear it and they're like, how can this Niger? How? You know, so more people are listening, people are hearing it. You know, I talked about people that pass through Lyricist Lounge, the Commons, the Talibs, the Smith and Wesson, the Rad Digger from, Flip Mode, Rad Digger, the Flip Mode. So people are hearing it, they're like, oh my goodness, really? Nigeria? And we're talking to certain people and it's moving traction and, it's an album I'm proud of. I could tell you for free, not because, you know, I put it together, but it's a stellar album. It's iconic. And one of the things we made sure was, it's not fluff. It's music that addresses what we're going through as a people, what we're going through individually.
It's passing the message.
Exactly. It's key. It's important, you know, so that's Lyricist Lounge in a nutshell.
All right. Thank you so much for that. This is really, really impressive. All right. You were mixing the English and then you entered Igbo. It was so good. You know, that's one of the reasons I like Fino and I like Zoro. Those are people who do not conform. You get, because I know back then, you know, we used to have indigenous rappers. I know people like Iblis Goretti, you know, who set the pace for those people. So I like that they did not succumb to, you know, oh, let's switch. We can't continue singing because people will not listen to our song. They just stop with that. And it's been beautiful. So that was a very beautiful song, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Now let's talk about the biggest misconception Nigerians have about hip-hop culture. Okay.
First of all, that it's not for riff-raps. You know, that's a long-standing one. You know, right?
Exactly.
That's a long-standing one. It's not for riff-raps. It's, intellectual sports. It's intellectual music. Like I said earlier, it's music genre's the most intelligent music genre. That's what I like to say. So that's one misconception. Another one is, that there's no content. There's nothing, positive about it, because many times, like we talked about earlier,
Yeah.
what people get behind and push is not the truth. Is the lies, is the facade, is the vibe. So many times what people that judge see, is soft porn, the shake your bum bum, the cleavages, the partying, the lights.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's cool. Some weekends, some evenings, you want to do that to get away from the craziness. But after the craziness, that short period of the craziness,
Yeah.
real life sets in. What do? You still listen to those same kind of music with the light, and you want to listen to something introspective. That's why there's classical music and stuff. So that mind frame, there's music for introspection. There's rap for introspection.
Yeah.
There's mostly it's talking about life issues and stuff.
True.
So those misconceptions have always been there, and I think they'll always be there, because like how God has his evangelists, the devil has his too,
Yeah,
and
true.
they both have their work cut out for them,
Mhm.
and they would stick to it, So those are the misconceptions that we'll always have.
Okay, before we get to, me asking you what's next for you, what you have in stock for us in 2026, let's talk about your name, Bionic.
Aha.
Yes. So how did that name? Because one would expect that, your name is taken now, like maybe IK Swag or
Oh
something
my
like that.
goodness,
Yes,
don't do that.
go
I
with
can
it.
swag. Oh. So by the way, swag is the most bastardized word, especially in hip hop.
Mm.
Even to those that don't know what it means, to those that think they know what it means. Swag. God will help swag. Anyway, so my name, so I like to write a lot, and it's also an opportunity to find words, meanings, and before I use them, and when something sounds intriguing, I quickly check, and I'm excited that I know what it means.
Yeah.
So I would use the word bionic after, from time to time in almost all my verses. So a friend of mine, we used to be in, so when my mom, the last place before Enugu, when my mom served was in, Owerri, Obinze. So we used to live at Igbada Housing Estate. So there's this friend of mine, Steve Anaso, God bless him. Amazing guy. So, we used to write together. We lived in the same estate. So his house was adjacent to mine. So it was like at the corner, 2 houses this way is him, 3 houses this way is me. So from our windows, we could see each other's houses, So he writes as well. He sang. I just wrote and I rapped. He rapped and he sang, but he mostly sang and made beats. His name was, Steve, so his name was Tipsy Dog. So, I would rhyme, and Bionic was always in my verse. So once we show up and it's time to, we call it cipher. It's time to cipher because we would go back and write, and we're looking for to come in to show off. So each time I would rhyme and he would be like, Bionic. So he said that too frequently, and people would hear him say it, and the name stuck, and also, I like to also, express that it's the second meaning, dictionary meaning, which means half man, half amazing, sort of like possessing extraordinary abilities. So wherever abilities stop, there's a possessing extra, you could go the extra mile. So that's the bionic second meaning that I had to go look for it, because there's also the part of half man, half machine, right? Bionic, you have some type of metal in you, and your name actually follows you. I realized that.
Not always. Not always.
Believe me, always.
It
Bionic, half man, half machine, metal in you. Listen, it follows you. Believe me. So that's how the name came.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a nice one. All right. So let's talk about what's next for you in 2026. What are you looking for?
Oh, wow. I'm always pregnant, I like to say. Always. So we just put out, Lyricist Lounge Nigeria Volume 1.
Yeah.
And, Volume 2 is also ready. Well, Volume 2 is going to be coming in 2026. Okay. So we want to space it out, really push, excuse me, push this one, get behind it, do like, little pockets of events, let people know about it, promote it on social media, just get people to just, hear it. Not necessarily receive it. If you don't want to receive it, that's okay. But want people to hear it and give their opinions and tell people to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend. You know, so next year we'll have our Lyricist Lounge Volume 2 coming, and Volume 3 is being worked on currently.
Okay.
And it's something like I said, I want to put out a series of all these, volumes of the Lyricist Lounge Nigeria. So there's more. One of the things I would love to see is have rappers feed their families, feed themselves from the music, you know, to earn a living from the music. Yeah. I really want to see that, like, because I think it's deserving because of the quality and all that stuff, you know. So next year, two Lyricist Lounge volume 2 and volume 3 are coming. Then, I have a project that's coming with, a legendary South African rapper called Zobs. Okay. It's a 4-track EP that's coming. I don't know why I'm saying this now. God help me. It was not supposed to come out yet. Oh my God. So the album is coming next year. Then, there's a new thing we're working on we would unveil that in due time. Let me just cut myself off. So, but most importantly, the 2 albums are coming next year, and, Rap Radio Africa will be putting out a few solo projects, one of them being mine, and about 3 other artists. Yes. So it's full. We're already working so we can meet up that target. And that's what we're looking at.
All right. So what's one opportunity that you wish every underground person in Nigeria had access to?
Making money from their music.
Very important. You know, we've had some of our artists, you know, who started as rappers switch to Afrobeat, you know, because they say rap doesn't pay. Yeah. All right. So because time is fast spent on the show,
we mourn them, and we have finished mourning them. They moved on to singing. Yes.
Yeah.
We didn't miss them.
All right. So, what is one word of advice that you would love to give to your fans, especially rappers and hip hop artists out there who are listening to you and of course watching you right now?
Like I always say on my show, keep recording, keep writing, first of all. Because for me, I never stopped writing after all these years. I still write, you know, I've written tons of stuff. I have a OneNote. I don't know if you know the app. There's a Microsoft app called OneNote where you just, you know, you use section what you want, you know, like you have a bucket list, you have a to-do list, what you want to do next week, all them stuff. I've had a OneNote for decades, you know, and it's full. So even if I lose devices, I still have access to it. So I'll say to them, always write, you know, and always, when you get opportunity, record. And if you say you're a rapper, you say you're an artist, you have to show for it. And what's your CV? Your CV is your music. Record and record and record. Because what happens is when opportunity comes, you gotta be prepared. You know, like, let's say Busta Rhymes is coming in a few days and you get that elevator pitch, 45 seconds with him. What do you have to show? You know, and it can't be something that's old. It can't be, oh my gosh, I wish I had my CV. No, you know, you gotta be ready. You know, so I tell them, be out there, keep recording. To cite something, same, there's a friend of mine, I always said to him, keep putting stuff out. So there's something he does. His name is Tafa. I say it on the show all the time. He puts out a verse every week. So he calls it Tantrum Thursdays. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. So if you go see him, it's like he's putting out endless music. It's not like the artist that put out an album and waits for the next. So every Thursday you hear a Tafa song. Okay. So there's another one, he puts out, he calls it 16s on the 16th. So the 16th of every month, he puts out a 16-bar verse on his social media. So that's where opportunity meets you because you're ready. You know, you're approached to do a song or to get on a concert. You have material to perform, you know, for people to see. Right. Yeah. So just always stay true to your craft. Write and record. Keep writing.
All right. Very beautiful. Thank you so much. So quickly give us your social media handles and of course, we'll stream down.
Okay. So, it's Rap Radio Africa across all social media. So one word, Rap Radio Africa.
As it says on your
Yes. As it says on my cap. Yeah. That's it. That's it. So across board. You know, something also, let me sneak this in. I say to people, make sure your social media is easy to remember. Yeah. Make sure someone can see it one time and get it. That's one. I also worked in advertising. So that's one. Secondly, let it be memorable. So if they see it in a second, they take it away.
Yeah.
Thirdly, let it be the same across board. You know how some people say, okay, on Facebook, it's Felicity, the C is X, and on Instagram, there's a hashtag before the F. Nobody's going to go because as they're hearing you is already there, it's paining their chest, you know. But once it's one word, it's easy to remember. And why it's easier also is you can create your own word, you know, and it's easier. One word across board. So it's Rap Radio Africa across all social media. Follow us. And Lyricist Lounge Nigeria Volume 1 is available across all social media. Not just social media, apart from WhatsApp, YouTube, and Instagram. It's on Spotify, it's on Apple, Amazon Music, all the streaming platforms. YouTube. Stream it, leave us a comment, talk to us. And if you have amazing music, send it to us. It's rapadioafrica@gmail.com. We'll play it on our show. We invite you. If it's really dope, we'll play it. We'll invite you for an interview. The main vision is to keep our hip hop growing, and it's going to happen by God.
Yes, I get it. All right. Thank you so much, Bionic. It's been fun doing this with you. Thank you so much for sharing your experience and all of the knowledge you shared with us on the show this morning. Thank you so much.